In today's video we're going to be talking about insulation to the van, what I use for my camper vans when I do the builds. Saying that, this is only my second one. I use a combination of a mineral wool insulation inside of the walls, and then on the ceiling I will use a closed board insulation like Celotex, a 50mm, which I've used on the ceiling of this van. I used a 40mm on my last Vauxhall Vivaro. The mineral wool I actually find a lot easier to use, especially on the walls, because you can get it in there. What you must remember though is that not to lose the loft of the insulation when you're pushing it into the panels, because if you end up screwing up the insulation, then you're going to lose the warmth of the actual insulation. It's not actually worth doing it. So although saying that, some insulation is better than no insulation. I'm going to put some insulation in the sliding door, and I'm going to film that for you so you can see what I do and how then I use the reflectix around afterwards to actually form a vapor barrier, which in other words stops any air going into the actual panel, and therefore if you don't get cold air going into the panel, it then can hit the metal and then it won't cause condensation. The mineral wool I use is actually mold resistant and also fire resistant, so it's ideal for camper vans, I think. And there's many probably videos about what you should and what you shouldn't use for your camper van. This is what I use. The mineral wool's really good, like I said, and then I'm going to wrap it with the vapor wrap. Then what I'm also going to use is that I'm going to tape it as well. I'm going to tape around the seams of the vapor wrap. Now there are many different foil tapes that you can buy on the market at the moment. Toolstation do a very good silver foil, which I use. It's a thick foil tape and it works really well. I did purchase a different tape from a company called ProSolve, and it's absolutely shit. It's shocking. It rips all the time. It's actually not even worth putting on your van. So get a decent quality foil tape. Like I said, Toolstation do a really good quality tape, as well as they do different sizes as well. A 75mm tape is really good, especially for the flooring, and when we get down to the flooring I can show you that as well. But today let's do the sliding door on the Vauxhall Vivaro. I've actually already carpeted the side panel, popped that off and carpeted it. What we're doing is going to put the mineral wool inside, and then we're going to put the vapor barrier in over the top of that. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to tape it, and then when we've done all that, then we can carpet the door. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's get on with it. I've not gone mad. I've not vapor wrapped the window. All I've done is that I've used a bit of vapor wrap just to cover the window up, so I don't get any glue on the window itself when we're putting the vapor wrap around the window on the metal. Now I've already taken off the actual door panel and I've already carpeted that. That is quite easy to take off. You've got a number of poppers which go all the way along the panel up to the top. These are different, these ones. These are these ones have got caps on, so they, when you get behind the panel and pop it, you will find a little black cap will come off. Here on the handle itself, you have a cover on the main handle. I don't know whether you can see that, get it into focus, and it's got two little clips which clip in, which clip into the actual handle itself. So all you need is a very fine, I used actually a Stanley blade, but just very carefully just eased it out without marking anything. And when you take the cap off, you will then have a screw, which you need, I think it's a 30 hexagonal. I think it's a hexagonal or star shaped, whatever you want to call it, socket set on that, and then do that. The main little slider which opens and closes the door, that actually just poppers off. So you just get behind it and you just slide it off. So that just slides out. So there's no screws on that or anything else like that. That is for this part here, which is the lock, which locks up and down. So that's that one there, and that just poppers off there. You can see there's a slight, just wedge it out, it just comes out quite easy actually. And that's the handle. What I always do is I actually put the screw back in the handle, so then I don't lose it. Give the door a clean, and when I say give the door a clean, I mean all the edges where you're going to put silver Reflectix. Just on the inside here, give it a clean. Don't go cleaning the door in the inside, because at point of manufacture, to a certain point, you're going to see some type of spray wax, which is down on the trim. Leave that in there, because that's designed then to stop the door from rusting. I'm going to use the mineral wool insulation, and remember, please don't screw it up, because then you're going to lose the loft. Once I've got to that stage, I will then show you the Reflectix and what I do on the Reflectix side, down on the bottom where the panel is, and then around the actual door frame itself. Let's get cracking. I'm at this stage now. I've filled the door in, or the door panel in, with insulation, making sure that I've kept the nice lofty part of the insulation. I've not overfilled it. What I've also done, I'm not actually going to keep the current rubber which goes around the sliding door, because it's shot. It's no good. I'm going to buy a new one, so I'm not really worried about that. But what I am going to do from here, where you have a trim over the top here, or door card, here I'm going to use a marker pen, and I'm going to trace the inside of the door all the way along, all the way down, and then down to here, where I know the door card comes into here. And the reason I'm going to do that is so I know how far I can go with the Reflectix when I put the Reflectix around the main window. Because of what I don't want to do is that I don't want to put Reflectix right past the actual door frame itself, because then you're on the outside of the door, and if you're on the outside of the door and you carpet it, then the carpet's going to get wet. So you need to keep it just on where the actual rubber is itself. So I'm going to now tape all these holes, those ones which obviously I don't need access to. This one, I'll just double check the actual door card, because I think there's a plastic which actually fits into here, but I'll just double check. Any other holes I'm just going to fill in with tape, and then I'm going to put a Reflectix sheet over the top of this. Once I've done that, I'll come back and show you where I'm up to. And here we are then. We have the Vapour barrier now over the top of the insulation, or the mineral wool. What I've also done, as I said, I drew a line around the rubber, and then what I've done then is use a masking tape, or stroke should I say, electrician's tape, because it can bend around the corners. Now that will be my line for the carpet. And then obviously from here you have the panel, which, like I said, let me just close this door. You have the panel, which I've already carpeted, which will fit on like so. And this is now going to be have the silver Reflectix on. That's going to be taped over, silver Reflectix, and then this is all going to be carpeted just past this point here. So then when you put the door card back on, it's all nice and tidy. Okay, let's carry on with the Reflectix. Here we are then. The Reflectix has now been put on and also taped. You can see that. There's been a lot of faffing around. That's putting it mildly. But as you can see, everything's done and it's ready for the carpeting. So carpeting I will do in another video for you. This is probably one of the hardest windows to do. If you had back windows, probably they would be as hard as well. But the reason why this is quite difficult is because of the roller. But I'll go through that anyway when I do the carpeting. So that's me. That's all the reflectics done and all the insulation for this video. I hope I've been of some help. This is how I do it. This is how I do the back doors. This is how I do the walls, the side walls, before I actually do the plyboard. And as I said, there is the panel ready to go on. Everything's ready. It's like I said, been a bit of a faff today, but I'm going to get on with this now and get on with filming the carpeting, ready for the next video. Have a good one. Cheers. Seriously, who actually wants to talk about insulation and vapor wrapping on a 20-degree day?